Hello, I'd like to welcome you to this PSA. My name is Eddie Odyssey, CBC member. The CBC is doing this PSA to keep the Comanche Nation abreast of what we are doing. The Comanche Nation had an election on June 1st and 2nd, 2018. After the election, the CBC met to certify the election results on June 5th, 2018. There were 4 ballot questions that passed. Ballot question by Alice Casanavoid, election requirement of bachelor's degree for tribal administrator. Ballot question by Norman Noni, adoption of secretarial election policy. Ballot question by Thomas Narcomi, to authorize a comprehensive enrollment audit. Ballot question by Susan Parker, education requirement of a bachelor's degree for chairman, vice chairman, and secretary treasurer position. Also, we certified the candidates. Chairman's position. Due to the ballot question, requirement of bachelor's degree for the 3 officials of the CBC, 4 of the chairman positions were ineligible to run. Billy Comanche, Willie Nelson Sr., June Sovo, Charles Wells. The only chairman candidate to possess a bachelor's degree was Susan Cochran. She would have been certified as chairman by default, but she declined because she said she did not want to win like that. So she withdrew as a candidate for chairman. So this left the chairman position vacant, having no candidates. We certified a new election for chairman position. We will have this election before we proceed with the runoff. We certified a runoff for vice chairman, Daryl Koshaquita and Lenore Parker. We certified tribal administrator Jamie W. Otterberry. He received the majority vote. We certified tribal attorney Richard Grauner. He received the majority vote. We certified that all the budget questions passed. All we did was certify what the Supreme Governing Body voted for and passed. We did not add or delete anything. The CBC members present were Vice Chairman Susan Cochran, Chairman Willie Nelson Sr., Secretary Treasurer Bob Tipicani, CBC member Ron Redout, CBC member Jonathan Poway, CBC member Clyde Narcomi, CBC member Eddie Odyssey. I would like to say we had the same kind of meeting. We had the same kind of meeting last year, and we did it the same way with no challenge. This year, the election results did not satisfy certain CBC members, Willie Nelson Sr. and his uncle Ron Redout. And this is causing a lot of unpleasant and lying comments about the CBC quorum vote. So the CBC decided to let our Comanche court decide that we follow what the Supreme Governing Body voted for. Until then, the CBC decided not to conduct any CBC authorized business until this matter is resolved. Based on the previous court action taken in the same election, Nelson versus CBC members, and the court's decision in that action to uphold the authority of the Tribal Council, the CBC is submitting for determination to the Tribal Court on behalf of the Supreme Governing Body. And this resolution was posted 10 days before the election. And I'm going to read the last part of it. It says, whereas the Comanche Business Committee deemed it advisable after formal discussion, review, and approval by a referendum vote at large by the Comanche Tribal Council to adopt an education requirement for chairman, vice chairman, and secretary treasurer candidate to hold a minimum of a bachelor's degree in order to qualify as a candidate to run for these positions on the business committee. Now therefore be it resolved that the Comanche Nation shall adopt an education requirement of bachelor's degree as a qualification to run for the office of chairman, vice chairman, and secretary treasurer, hereby adopted and promulgated as a law governing the Comanche Nation and shall be effective immediately upon adoption. Signed by Susan Parker and Bobby Saltpitty. So this was posted 10 days before the election, so people knew what was going on.
Hello everybody, my name is Clyde Narcomi, CBC member. I want to read you guys a motion, and then I'll make a comment after I read this motion. Motion, Susan Cochran, Vice Chairman. No CBC member shall be involved, give directives, or interfere with the operations of our governmental or gaming entities. This includes any other Comanche Nation enterprise without the approval of the CBC through a resolution or motion with a majority vote approving said action. Seconded by Eddie Odyssey, Committeeman number 2. Voice vote of 5-4-0 against. Motion carries. This motion was acted upon during the Comanche Business Committee held April 2017 at the Comanche headquarters, Lawton, Oklahoma. A quorum was present. Signed by Willie Nelson Sr., Chairman. Now, the reason I'm reading this is because we've been hearing complaints from our workers here at the complex, hearing complaints from our gaming commissioner, gaming board, Comanche Nation Enterprise, that our chairman has been going to them. I don't know what he's been saying, but I know he's violating the motion that he signed himself. None of these members right here with us today has not even come close to doing this at all. We stay away from it. The TA handles the tribal business up here and the employees. We have nothing to say about it. We don't give no directives in that department.
Hello there, my name is Robert Tipicani, and I'd just like to get everyone with the understanding there's no problem in any of our budgets. You know, we worked finishing last fiscal year in a good way. We came out with a good standing, nothing was in the red. And we're proceeding now in this time of this fiscal year, which ends in the end of September, with the same kind of way. That is, our tribal administrator really guards and guides the expenditure of the tribal budget for which he's responsible. And that's the operations of daily business here at the headquarters. Now, he also has locations like in our educational building and places like that where he supervises. And of course, optometry and some of those health services, I'd say they're in Lawton. All these budgets are in good standing. And I just want everybody to feel comfortable that there's no problem with our budgets. And I would say that true about entertainment, that our Comanche Nation Entertainment, which is our gaming, and our facilities there, you know, and the revenue incoming, you know, it helps us because we're on a steady flow. Now, there's always ups and downs there because you never know what may happen within the sector of those who go to enjoy these places. But nonetheless, at this point, it looks very good for all of us. The other thing I'd like to mention is that no funds, and I want to be very strong about this, no tribal funds, and I feel that's across the board, you know, on all the funds that the nation has, none are being used for campaigning by any individual that sits here. There's no such thing, and I'd like to say that all of the CBC, none of them, are using tribal funds for any campaigning. If campaigning is done, that's an individual undertaking, and they must handle that themselves. And I just want to assure all of us, all tribal members, no tribal fund is being used for campaigning.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Polway, business committeeman, and what I'd like to speak of is there has been a meeting called, a tribal council meeting called by our chairman, and he does not possess the sole right to call a tribal council meeting. It is laid out in our Constitution in Article 5, Section 3, says, in addition to the annual tribal council meeting, the tribal chairman shall be required to call a special tribal council meeting in the following cases. A, upon written request by the Commissioner of Indian Affairs or his authorized representative. B, when he is so requested in writing by as many as 3 members of the business committee, setting forth the purpose of the meeting. C, when he is so requested by a petition signed by 10% of the tribal council, setting forth the purpose of the meeting consistent with the Constitution. The tribal council shall consist of all members of the Comanche Nation who are 18 years of age or older. Since there was a majority vote for the education, and the CBC here is working together on this election, and there is no CEO powers for the chairman. It was taken away on a referendum vote by all the people.
Hello, I'm Susan Cothran. I'm the Vice Chairman of the Comanche Tribe. I would like to make it clear what the Constitution says about a candidate staying in office. I did remove my name from the chairman's race, but I am still the Vice Chairman of the Comanche Tribe according to our Constitution. Should an incumbent of the Comanche Business Committee accept a nomination at an annual tribal council meeting as a candidate for a different office, that individual shall be required to resign the business committee position which he then holds. This is the key part, I feel. Although such resignation shall not be effective until the completion of that year's election process. So I stay in office until a new vice chairman has been elected. I just wanted to make sure that everyone understood that. At this time, we've had an opportunity here to let the people know some of the things that are going on, and we've only spoken the truth here. Everyone up here has worked hard. We've put in a lot of time and effort into helping our tribe to go forward and to stay in a positive way, in a positive mode. And that's what we're doing now. That's why we wanted to speak out at this time. And we just want you to know that none of us here have any interest other than what's best for our tribe. Thank you.